group protect the philosophy or the value of the, they try to protect the group from every angle and try to make their group a successful one. Then second feature is the group has some common interest. As I said, you have a common interest, you work towards it, you collectively work to achieve the common interest, and that is the common interest, or that single force binds you all together. Here, at least in this session, there is a common interest that has bind, or that has brought you to one platform. Then there is a feeling of unity, or we feeling, or we are a group, we have to work for the group, we treat each other as our own, and we develop a sense of brotherhood, we develop a sense that these members are our, and we try to maintain that. So there is a feeling of unity. This is also one of the feature. Then fourth one is we are related to each other through any sort of communication. We are related to each other, we are interrelated, we are interdependent. We want to socialize among ourselves, or the group members want to socialize among themselves, either through verbal communication or non-verbal communication, or by organizing meeting, by going on picnic, by arranging meeting to discuss on common topics. So they are related to each other. Then a fifth point is they are, or the group is affected by group characteristics. Each group has some unique characteristics that make the group unique, and that make the group dissimilar or different from other groups. And this unique characteristic, unique value, the mm, uh, philosophy of the group affect all the members of the group. And every individual has some skill, has some nature qualities that also influence the group. A group influences the individual member of the group. Even the members quality, the members behavior, the members skills also influence the group. They have common values. Usually every group has a philosophy, and that is followed by all the members of the group. And the particular philosophy or the value that actually attracts the member to the group. So there is some common value in each group, and that value is passed on from this generation to other generation. And those who enter into this group, or the newcomers, uh, need to be indoctrinated with this common value. Control of group. Each group has certain principles, norms, customs, behavior patterns, and everybody has to follow that behavior, follow that pattern, follow those customs, or else they will be outcasted from the group, or they will be thrown out of the group. And these norms, principles, values actually control the behavior of the group, and bind people together to follow a particular, or to follow a common goal, common value. Then obligation. Eighth one is obligation. All the members have complementary obligation to each other in any group. Each one has got a role, and each one is supposed to perform that goal, and is supposed to contribute towards the common goal. Each one is obliged, each one has to oblige other in any group. Expectation. There is not only mutual obligation, the members of the group also show empathy, cooperation, love, sympathy, helping behavior towards each other. So there is always some amount of expectation from the group member or from the group. Suppose in your group you need some help, or you want to know something about your forthcoming exam, or your how to do your project, or any query you are having about your course. So you would definitely expect your um, batchmate to help you. So every group is governed by some sort of expectation. These groups are usually the units of social organization. um, the social relationship is very important factor in any group. And family is the primary or the basic group, or the most common example of any group. Other examples can be companies, your friend circle, your club, the people living in a particular area, those who are living in apartment, they form a group. Your classroom is a group. Your workplace or the colleagues of your department or your office also form a group. So these are the types of or examples of group. Suppose take the example of family, or uh, your MPC, yeah, what is it is called MPCE class. So this is a group, you all are bound together. You are following particular norms, rules, regulations. You have a feeling of belongingness. If I ask about uh, Obnies, then the rest of you will say that yes, ma'am, he is one of our batchmate. So this reply is actually the we feeling or feeling of belongingness. When I ask you how many of you are present in the class, then you immediately reply, madam, we are this many number of student present. This answer or this reply actually implies or shows that you have a we feeling among yourselves, and you are bound by a particular relationship, that is batchmate or people or students of MPCE 2021 batch. You have some mutual expectations. You usually cooperate with each other. You share your views, ideas. You are to some extent you are interdependent. These are the features you are also having. So overall we can say that group is a collection of individual where there are two or more person present and they interact with each other. Usually they have a face-to-face interaction, but here we are meeting virtually. So with the development of technology, this new form of group has emerged, that is virtual group. You must be having so many WhatsApp group and Facebook page groups where you share or you enter into the group because you have some interest uh, for that particular page, or for that particular concept. Suppose I am a member of some literary group. That means I have inclination, I have interest for the writing. Or I am a member of gardening group. I have some inclination for gardening. That's why I have become a member of Facebook. All of you can know clearly, or it will be easy for you to know if you think of a Facebook page where you are or think of a WhatsApp group where you are a member, or you are the admin. Why you have formed that group, and what is the purpose and how it is governed, that will give you a better idea about what is a group. Groups usually help us to satisfy our important psychological needs and social needs. different person perform different tasks in a group. Different person are assigned different roles. Different status is also there, and they perform the task they are given. Usually a person is selected as a leader in the group. Either he emerges as the leader, or the members assign him the role of leader, or the role others think that he is the appropriate person who can lead their group, and others become follower. There is always a link among the members of the group. The members are usually interdependent, and all these things, the norms, values, the principles, customs, the develop, or each group has its own norms, values, and principles, and this helps in the smooth running of any group. So this is what a group is. Then we will discuss how a group is formed. So there are different stages of formation of group. The stages are described as forming, storming, norming, performing, then adjourning. Forming, it is the first stage when a group is formed, or the first stage of group formation. And in the first stage there is some confusion and uncertainty. There is no rules and regulation, because by that time no rules, norms has not been developed. And in the forming stage all the members may not be present. With a few number of members, a group may be formed. Gradually others are included or get attached to the group. The people are new to each other, in some cases, not in all cases. But we can take your group as the example, where all of you were new to each other. You started introducing yourself, you started expressing your views, ideas, interests, and you come to know each other. You share your experience, your expectation about the group, and you begin to form the group. And gradually the confusion and uncertainty vanishes or gets reduced. The next stage is your storming stage. And during the storming stage, highest form of disagreement is found. There is usually conflict during this stage, because during this stage the group member want to establish the values, the norms, the customs, the status is given, the role is given, the goal is more the goal is emphasized, or more discussion about the goal is taken up. And that is the reason this stage consists of disagreement and conflicts. Then next stage is norming. Once the goal is clear, the aim is decided, the process to achieve the goal is also decided, the rules to govern or control the group is decided, the roles are given to different people, and the people and become known to each other. The norming phase takes place. So as the norms are decided, the roles are decided, uh, people starts expecting from each other, or they know what to do, what not to do, how to do, to whom they go in case of need, who can help them for this particular problem, how the group will operate. All these things are decided in the norming stage. Once everything is decided, the performance start. By this time the group is mature, and the members attain a feeling of cohesiveness or we feeling. By this time the conflict, the uncertainty, everything is zero. There is less or no conflict. and decisions are taken through rational process. People contribute their opinion, and people are bound by emotional bonding by this stage, and the group focuses on achieving its goal or task, and how to do or how to achieve the task or how to accomplish its goal become the main focus, instead of conflicting with each other or disagreeing with each other. Then, after the performance, once the goal is achieved, the fifth stage occurs, and for some group, the fifth stage may not occur. Suppose for your group, you have the fifth stage. The fifth stage is known as adjourning stage, where the after the achievement of the desired goal or set goal, expected goal, the group dissolves. But this is a very emotional stage where the members say goodbye to each other. They uh, they accumulate some experience, some knowledge by being a member of the group, and that they cherish for their lifetime. So these are the five stages of group formation. Then we will discuss a bit about theories of group formation. There are different theories proposed by different theories. George Homans, he suggested classic theory. Am I audible? Where
Yes, ma'am.
where he gave
Yes.
emphasis.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Where he emphasized on interactions. Actually, frequent interactions are the cause of forming a group. So as a group, people are involved in different activities, and for performing those activities they interact among themselves, and with the process of interaction they come together, they are bound by, or they develop some emotional feeling, sympathy, love, attachment for the members of the group. They share common. Just a minute. Can I take my call?
Of course, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Hello. This classic theory says that interaction is the main cause, and due to frequent interactions, we develop a feeling of attachment among ourselves, and that lead to formation of the group. One more theory is social exchange theory. As I said, we have some obligations towards the group. We have some expectation from the group. These obligations, these expectations are mutually beneficial for each other, and this expectation obligation helps in forming the group. So this is according to social exchange theory. One more theory is known as social identity theory. So this theory says that actually being a member of a group gives us some sort of identity, social identity. It encourages or it improves our self-esteem. It satisfies our psychology or the motive to a part of a group, that is known as gregariousness. We have an inner tendency to live within a group or surrounded by group. So This social identity theory says that we become a member of group or we form a group because of our psychological need, and it gives us a sense of security, identity. We are known by our group. Our identity is by our group. Now my identity is my identity is a member of the IGNU class, and I have also different identities being attached to different group. I am not a member of single group. A person can be a member of varieties of group, and the person feels satisfied when he is a member of good groups. That is the reason we want to study in good colleges. That is the reason we want to work in uh, good organizations, want to live in the best locality of our town. It encourages our self esteem, or it boosts our self esteem. So these are the theories given in your book. Then we will discuss about the 10 rules that governs any group. So group can arise from almost nothing. This is the first principle given in your group. So as I said, because of the social identity theory, or because of the social identity need of ours, or human has a need to be a part of group, the group can arise from nothing. There may not be any similarity, there may not be any goal, still we form a group, or we want to attach to be to any group. Then initiation rights improve group evaluation. The way initiation rights means the way we enter into a group, the way we become a member of a group, these rights improve the group's evaluation. um, we consider a group the best when the entry is difficult to the group. Suppose the criteria for entering into Utkal University MA class is very high, then the Department of Psychology of Utkal University will be in a high esteem among the members of psychology, or those who want to enter into PG psychology. So here the initiation rights, or the minimum qualification, or the mark to be achieved to enter into the university is high, and this makes the evaluation of the group better. That is why the you must be aware about ragging concept in any organization or educational institution. Ragging does not happen only in educational institution, it also happen in other offices or other institutions too. The main motive behind ragging is to improve the valuation of the organization, but instead of being or instead of ragging in a moderate or friendly manner, students indulge into offensive ragging, or violent ragging, or ragging that involves physical and mental psychological harm to the student. So this is the initiation rights improve the group evaluation. Then next is group breed conformity. Once you become a member of any particular group, you have to conform, you have to follow, you have to work according to the rules, regulation of the group. So groups usually breed conformity. You have to change your lifestyle. You are expected to behave according to the group now. This way group changes your behavior, or turns or conforms your behavior to the group behavior. Learn the ropes or be ostracized. You have to follow the principles of the group. You have to follow the regulations, rules, or else you will be ostracized. You will be thrown out of the group. You are in this group, or suppose you have joined a school, or suppose take the example of class 10th in any school. The student have to come at a particular time. They have to leave the school at a particular, they have to complete some project, they have to complete some homework. These are the rules. They have to behave this way with the teacher, they have to behave that way with their peer group. These are the rules and regulations. If they don't follow these rules regulations, they will be ostracized. Then next is you become your job. That means once you enter a group and you are given a role, you start performing the role with sincerity. You get involved into the role. You get indulged into the role. You want to perform the role in your best way. You want to give your best to the role given to you. So this is in an experiment. That experiment is known as Stanford Prison Experiment. In that experiment, uh, this was done by Zimbardo in 1972. Someone asked me, Madam, whether we have to mention the name of the researcher. You have to write the name of the researcher, because research studies in sociology are actually historical. They have given rise to different concepts in social psychology. That has been followed by all other disciplines also. So you have to mention the name of the researcher. Here, this study is done by Zimbardo, and the study is known as Stanford Prison Experiment. It is called prison experiment because here the subjects are some university students. So they were asked to act as prisoner and a guard working in the prison. A situation was created, or we can say a simulation was there, where the some of the students were prisoners and some of them acted as guard watching the prisoner. So after they were asked to do this role or act like prisoner and jailer for 14 days, and they were given some tasks where the guard was actually autocratic, he was actually dominating, he wanted to control the prisoners, and the prisoners were supposed to be submissive, they were expected to act like prisoners. So out of those 14 days, after 6 days it was found that the guards became so rude, so harsh that the researcher or experimenter had to stop the experiment. So that means the people started involving into their role, and they acted, or they started thinking themselves as a prisoner and a guard. Those who were given the role of guard, they acted like a real guard or real jailer and started torturing the prisoner. And the prisoners also, who were supposed to be submissive, they were so submissive that they could not retaliate to their friends who were acting as guards in the simulated experiment. So they get involved into the role. So, that's why it is written, you become your job. Then sixth rule is leaders gain trust by conforming. As I said, in any group, uh, the, the members select someone, elect someone, or some leaders emerge from the group. So every group has a leader of its own. So how the leader is formed, or what is the process of being a leader of the group? Here it is said that leader gains trust by conforming. One cannot be a successful leader if he doesn't conform to the group's rules, regulations, and norms, and the weaknesses of the group also. A person who knows the weaknesses, the strengths of the group, the bad time the group has gone through, what are the norms, how the group operates, and all these things can be a good leader. Someone comes in, any outsider comes into the group, and the group become the group leader, he won't be a successful group leader. So for this also, Mary in 1949 did a study. He observed children at Hungarian nursery school. He noticed that successful leaders were those who initially fitted in with the group. They entered into the group, and then they slowly began to suggest new activities, new goals, new ways to achieve those goals. And those activities, goals, process, the way the goal can be achieved is usually from the old activities of the group. That the activities, the process were actually not new to the group, they had already been experimented in the group. So these type of leaders become successful. Children did not follow potential leader who jumped straight in with new ideas. The new ideas, so when somebody enters into the group with some new ideas, he may face different type of or maximum rejection. It's already 40. Group can improve performance, that is known as group facilitation, and another one is known as group loafing. The presence of other people in the group actually facilitate the performance of each of the member of the group. The presence of other members in this group will definitely facilitate the performance of Deepika. Deepika will perform better if other peoples are there around her. Similarly, this is known as group facilitation theory or the facilitation effect. Because of facilitation effect, suppose there is nobody around you, your performance will not be up to that level if some others are present around you. Actually, we afraid that others are there, how I will perform, but the presence of others facilitate your performance or improves your performance. Then rule 8 is people will loaf. That means loafing, group loafing, where others are present, each member is likely to contribute less. The effort given by single member will be less in case of a collective work, where your contribution is difficult to judge. If we others can clearly recognize your contribution, then there won't occur loafing. Loafing means less contribution, less effort is given, people become lazy, people want to deliver less. So different studies has been done on this, you can find it in your site. Then another one is your grapevine is 80% accurate. Grapevine, you must be thinking angura lata, but grapevine is a type of communication. We all indulge in some sort of gossip or informal gossip in any group. In our office also, we indulge in gossip, and it is found that people indulge in 80% of grapevine. This gossip is known, informal gossip is known as grapevine. This name is given to this informal gossip. And usually these informal gossips are true to 80%. We think that it's just a uda khabara. It doesn't have any reality. It might not be true. There is no truth behind this gossip. But these are actually true up to 80%. Then 10th rule is group breed competition. There is in-group competition. There is competition among different groups. There is a feeling of them and us. When we are in a group, we always have a tendency to compete with other groups, and even in some cases within our group also we indulge in competition. So this is these are the 10 rules of the 10 rules that governs any group. The next is types of groups. Types of groups can be based on intimacy. One process of classification is based on intimacy, and another is based on the norms, rules, and regulations that is followed by the group. So on the basis of intimacy, group can be primary, secondary, in group or we group, and out group. Primary group usually refers to family group, village community, people who are living around us, the students of a particular class. The main feature of the primary group is face to face relationship or face to face interaction. Secondary group refers to a group where the members are congregated for any common interest or common purpose, like a club, cricket club, trade union. The people who want reservation, these are secondary groups. In group here refers to the group, the our group, and rest are out group. So the concept of in group, which where they interact with themselves and rest of the people are out group. Then based upon norms, rules, regulations, group can be formal group where specific norms, rules, regulations are followed. We can say formal group as a school as a formal group. Then informal group, there is nothing to there is no rules regulations to govern the group, that is informal group. And there are some other groups also, organized group, where the group is organized for specific purpose, and a careful planning is done to achieve that purpose. This is known as organized group. Spontaneous group, there is no planning, nothing, and the group emerge all of a sudden. Suppose you have gone to watch a film. Some of you could not get the ticket for the film, and you organize a group there, uh, and you went to the hall manager and ask for ticket. That is spontaneous group. Command group is the group that dictate or supervises some worker, that is known as people subordinate to them, that is known as command group. Task group, a particular task or particular work is given to the group, and the group dissolves after performance of the task. Suppose during Fani, the people from NDRF, they came to clear our roads. They came as a group, they cleared the road, they did completed the task, and that group dissolved. They again, people went to some other place, and that group was something new. Then next is interest group. When we are combined according to some interest, it is interest, some hobby, it is known as interest group. Then friendship group, that all of you know. Then about group structure, uh, role, norm, status, and group cohesiveness are given. Role, as you know, some work is given to a particular person. The person has to work in that role. Norms usually refers to the rules and mutual expectation that develop within any group. Status refer to the relative prestige, social position, power given to particular individuals in the group. Cohesiveness refers to the degree of attraction, the degree of we feeling in the group. So this is about your group. Next we will go to crowd. So what is crowd? Crowd means bhida. When people are standing at a particular place and watching something, some accident, we can call it a crowd. This is the most transitory, this is the most short-lived group. This is unstable social group. They exhibit no pattern, no characteristic of expression. Simply, we can say that collection of some people is crowd. It may be in the market, it may be in the accident spot. So when some people stand together for a short period of time at any particular place, we call them as crowd. So the next types of crowd, one is active crowd, one is inactive crowd. Inactive crowd usually refers to the spectators or the audience, and active crowd can be aggressive crowd, panicky crowd, accusative crowd, and expressive crowd. Aggressive crowd, they have some grievances, they have some frustration, they have some aggression, they show destructive behavior, and they demand something. They are governed by irrationality. There is no ethics, no sense of responsibility. Then it is known as aggressive crowd. Panicky crowd, expecting some unforeseen situation, some devastating situation, some emergency situation, people gather and try to get out of the situation, or how to face the situation. This type of crowd is known as panicky crowd. Accusative crowd, suppose before funny, you must have seen that people crowded around shops to collect, or hoarding behavior shown by the people before any type of natural disaster. Even before last year's shutdown, people gathered around shop to buy much of the grocery, and during that period they showed accusative behavior, or those people were known as accusative crowd. Expressive crowd, when you have some grievance, you have some demand, then that type of crowd is known as expressive crowd. People sitting in a strike demanding this type of few days back, last week only, students of Utkal University, they obstructed the NH. They demanded the shifting of examination and all these things, and they can be termed as expressive crowd. Inactive crowd usually resembles to audience. So these are the types of crowd, characteristics of crowd. They don't have any predetermined aim, because crowding is not decided, or the people don't congregate with some type of intention. This is accidental. They don't have any time, and there is no definite time and place for any type of crowd. um, they they have temporarily identified themselves with common interest. Sometimes they are motivated by emotion, and soon they become aggressive, violent, and uncontrollable. The behavior of crowd is not clear. This is not certain. It is not defined. They act according to the situation. Then about the presence of the people in the crowd stimulates each other. The members of the crowd are generally uncontrollable, unorganized, and disorder. So, when one involves in, or when one becomes a part of the crowd, he loses its self control, and he is guided by the behavior or collective behavior of the crowd. So, this is about crowd. Something is written about crowd psychology, how we think and how we behave when we are in a crowd. Actually, we lose our individuality, we lose our autonomy, lose our personal judgment, morality, the rules, regulations, ethics, the behavior we have learned. We lose all these things, we become irrational, we don't judge or think of anything rationally, and we show a peculiar behavior that we don't we lose our individuality. That phenomena is known as de-individuation. And one example can be, you are a very well mannered boy or girl, but when going in a procession in your college time, you threw a stone to the street light. You start smashing a car of your teacher. These all are known as individuation. You act against your usual behavior. Crowd behavior usually work to release your pent up energy. It usually helps in releasing the suppressed, repressed drives, and we are guided by the collective mind. So this is the behavior shown by the people in crowd. Then there are some theories. One is convergence theory, and another one is group mind theory. Convergence theory says that actually crowd, being a member of the crowd or crowd itself, does not give rise to violence or any type of unsocial illegal behavior. Rather, people gather to form a crowd to demand something, or to speak about or express against something. That is, this way they show this type of violence, hatred behavior. So this is because of the convergence of people with same mind, same grievance, same problem. Crowd arises. Then group mind theory. This theory says that individual in any crowd loses his individuality and becomes a part of the crowd, which comes to develop its own crowd consciousness. The mentality of the individual member becomes de-individualized, and the person begins to act on an emotional level which is common to all the participants. Its working is based on emotions, slogan, appeals, suggestion. Its actions are less rational and more emotional. People work according to the collective mind. Then some collective behaviors are also given in your book. All social interactions fall under the category of collective behavior. Under this, a mass society, audience, mob, fashion is given. Mass society usually refers to the society of the present generation, where people live in a particular area, but they don't know. They live together but they don't know each other. There is no interaction among themselves. Each one is alone. Each one thinks about his own interest. Nobody bothers about others. This is mass society. And audience is a polarized crowd which assembles at one place. It is an index of mental unity. So people when gather around a particular place as a spectator, we call them audience. This is also a collective behavior. There are two types of audience: casual audience and scheduled audience. Casual audience, unexpectedly, so when some people gather at a particular place, it is known as casual audience. When with some intention or with some preset schedule, people gather around a particular place, it is known as scheduled audience. Suppose during the World Cup cricket, different electronic shops install TV in a particular street, and people gathered around the TV to see the cricket match on a big screen. That is known as scheduled audience. People gathered in a political rally. That is known as scheduled audience. Then mob is a large crowd of people that is disorderly with an intention to create violence and trouble. They are a gathering, or they are crowd of people with the intention to destroy something, to show violence or create trouble. So this is about crowd. Then bit about cooperation. I will take 2-3 minutes more. Cooperation, then competition and conflict. Three concepts are given in your book. Cooperation refers can be said as sahajoga ba sahajogita. Competition is pratijogita and conflict is sangharsha. So cooperation, working together, or it is a joint activity or integrated activity. It is goal oriented, it is usually conscious form of social interaction. It involves common common end and organized effort. Here a group of people combine together, they combine their effort to achieve something in a cooperated manner. Suppose in your street you are planning to do Ganesh Puja, you cooperate with each other, you you perform the puja, and all of you have an intention to do the puja successfully. Then there are different type of cooperation: direct, indirect, primary, secondary, and tertiary. In direct cooperation, people do things in a group cooperatively, which they can do independently and separately. They can do those work independently and separately, still they cooperate with each other. Suppose you must have seen that in your home your mothers might be doing that Sabitri Puja with other ladies from your area. Your mother herself can do Sabitri Puja, but uh, she combines with other ladies of that area and do the puja. That is known as direct cooperation. We can say playing together, worshipping together are the example of direct cooperation. Indirect cooperation is the type of cooperation individual work towards common end. Each has his own specialized function. Here, each one has his own specialized function. Similarly, there is primary, secondary, tertiary cooperation. The next is competition. This is a form of social struggle, and every society faces competition. Usually, it is not face to face. It is impersonal. It is unconscious, continuous struggle where we strive against each other to achieve or possession or use of some limited material and non-material group good. When there is limited supply of anything a human desire, then only competition arise. Suppose there are plenty of jobs available in India, there won't be any competition, because there is the number of post advertised or the number of vacancy for any particular job is limited. That is why competition occurs, and if we don't know who is our competitor for that particular post, that is why it is called as impersonal, and we are not consciously uh, trying to win the competition with the other applicant, because we don't know that person. That is impersonal, and even that is unconscious. But in your class, when you compete with your friend to get the first position, it is personal and it is conscious also, and it is usually a continuous struggle. The some of the characteristics of competition are it is impersonal, it is universal, it is necessary for necessary for progress of any nation or any society. Competition is mainly unconscious activity, but personal competition or rivalry is conscious activity. It may create emotional disturbance. It is an innate tendency. Even a child shows some sort of competition. So this is about competition. Then conflict. is a serious disagreement or argument. It is struggle between people, which may be physical or between conflicting ideas. A person, a particular individual may have conflict within himself or herself, that is conflicting ideas. When he is having any type of conflicting ideas or contradictory ideas, or ideas which are exactly opposite to each other, it is known as conflict within oneself. And conflict is opposition of cooperation. It may lead to antagonism, violence, and that is usually a threat to peace. The causes of conflict can be individual difference, cultural difference, and when there is difference of opinion or disagreement of opinion, conflict arise. And when at the time of social change also conflicts arise. So this is all about your fourth block of social psychology. If anyone has any question, you can ask me. No questions? Then I am leaving the class. Bye and best of luck for your exam.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
मैम तो पढ़ गई हैं। ମକା ହେଲେ ଗୋଟେ ବ୍ଲକ ଶେଷ ହେଇଗଲା ପୁରା ଡେଇଁ ପଇଲେ ଆସିକି ବ୍ଲକ କେତେଟା ବ୍ଲକ ଶେଷ ହେଲାଣି ମୁଁ ତାକୁ କମ୍ପ୍ଲେନ୍ କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ ବ୍ଲକ 4 ଶେଷ ବ୍ଲକ 3 ଟା ଶେଷ ବ୍ଲକ 3 ବ୍ଲକ 2 3 4 ଶେଷ MPC-4 ବ୍ଲକ 1 ଟା ଅଛି କାଲି 1 ଟା